Welcome to another edition of Trail Cam Card Pickup by Ren. This was a nice weekend, a bit cloudy and rain later on, but otherwise it was really nice weather out there. So I'm just going to begin my presentation here with this big bull elk that came in. Obviously not a giant, but a nice sized elk that came into one of my cameras. And so that's what I'm going to use as an introduction. This camera does video and still pictures, but at this point it's set for still photos. I had about 300 photos on this camera. Obviously I had to just narrow them down. There's not enough time for that. And here's a cow that came in really close. So here we start the video with a coyote coming past a trail here that attracts a lot of animals. Here we have a bobcat. In this area I do not see as many bobcat as the other area, but I do get some nice bobcat video occasionally. So here he's approaching the camera on his way past. Now this next video coming up is about a number of cow elk, and obviously I edited some of this out, but I counted upwards of about 18 cows with their yearling calves going past this camera. I would guess the way that I have seen elk move through this area is they're pretty scattered out. Some of them do follow this trail. This is a trail that's not a deep trail. But with 18 on the camera, there could have been as many as 30 plus elk moving through this area. So that's a pretty good sized herd for this time of the year being together. Although I do see them in herds of 100 when they are calving. And that would be about a month after they're done calving. They start gathering together for safety and protection. A lot more eyes for predators. There will be mountain lions up here, and there are bears. Those would be the predators that would feed on young elk. Mountain lions obviously concentrate a bit more on deer. They're easier to take down, but they will take down elk, but especially calves. But it appears that a lot of the cows still have calves, so there hasn't been a lot of predation this year. This week I had over an hour of video again, and I've managed to get it down to 15 minutes. So you're getting just some of the highlights. I try to go to both areas where I have cameras, but this week I was a bit more tired. My body just didn't feel like doing the whole 10 miles, so I only did the one area, which takes about 5-6 miles to get to all my cameras. But it was very nice out there. They just kept moving through here in a period of about, I would say 10-15 minutes, and you can notice the time frame on my lower right hand corner of the video. Some of them are starting to lose their winter hair, look rather scraggly at times. They don't all look like that, but some of them do. It's just they've grown that hair just for protection in the winter. At this point, they don't appear to be feeding very much. A lot of times when elk are moving around, they're also feeding, but this is more about getting back to their bedding areas, I believe, which they will go about another mile or so until they get into the manzanita groves. That's where they like to bed down during the day. They don't always do that, but it's very hard to get to the elk when they're bedded in manzanita because there's just way too much noise to get in there. It's very tough to walk through. They do have their little paths through. Now this is an elk moving the opposite direction, which is kind of their natural route to go, is to go in this direction in the evening and the other direction in the morning. There will be a good-sized creek, river, whatever, large creek, small river, that's about 2 miles away, which they like to go into the evening, especially the bigger herds. There's plenty of water down there. They get a good fill of water for overnight, and then in the morning they will be heading the opposite direction. This would be about 5:30 in the evening, and they'll be down at the river by about dark. There's a little village in the direction that they're headed, down by the river. So they have a tendency to be down there a little after dark. This young has some vocalization. Also appears to have little buttons on its head like it's a young bull. Maybe we'll start growing its spike antlers this year. This is also about the time of the year when the bull elk are going to start. Here we have a coyote coming into this water hole, where the bull elk are going to start losing their antlers. And they will start doing that in the next couple of weeks, starting with the large bulls with the larger antlers. Here we have a place where obviously a herd will hang out on occasion. I see them on my cameras quite a bit, and they're really going through a lot of posturing and playing and running around. A lot of this is just games for them, but they're also creating some dominance. They all have their level of dominance and where they belong in the hierarchy, from the lead cow to the runt calf, I would say. And the bulls have the same hierarchy, and we're going to notice that a little bit later on in our videos, where I've caught on camera the largest group of bulls that I have had on camera, which was about 5, maybe 6. And here's a herd of cows without no bulls with them. Here we have a squirrel enjoying some refreshment in the water. You would have noticed a bit of reflection. It was pretty clear, nothing had muddied up the water. And here we have some ice. This cow coming in for water, but she's finding there's ice in it. They can stomp through this ice pretty easily if they want to. Here we have another group of cows, and we're going to notice a spike coming in. And here we have the usual generality of where spikes will hang around with the cows for the first season that they'll have a spike. After that, they will not do that so much. And here's this group of bulls that I was mentioning earlier, sparring, and nothing dangerous going on here, just their usual sparring. They like to do that. So there was about, I would say, 4 to 6 bulls in this group. Obviously there was some dominance going on. And if you look for it, you will notice that there is a bigger bull than these two coming into the picture at some point. and you can tell by the way that they begin to move out of the frame that that bull has dominance. And just to kind of give you a heads up about what's coming up too as well, that bull had dominance, but as soon as another bull, bigger bull, came in, see here you notice that they are willing to give him a little bit of breathing room here. But this bull later on will leave when the bigger bull comes into the picture. So there's certainly a hierarchy. They hang out together, but they do know. Here's the bigger bull. Now I think this bull will come and chase the other one away. Not really chase, but he just leaves. There isn't that much difference in their size. I think this bigger bull is the one that I have some still photos on another dry water hole, which would have been only probably 3/4 mile away. This water hole is probably the last water hole to dry up, and it was dry at one time until we had our last significant rain for the winter. And the day that I picked up these cards from these cameras was March 10th. Had some rain in the evening up there, but I don't think it was very significant. But we'll see the next time I go up whether this pool is much larger. And that will certainly be an indication of whether they had a lot of rain or not. Here again we see this bull establishing dominance. There are 4 or 5 bulls in this area. I'm hoping to find some elk antlers that they have shed. So I do try to roam around between cameras, just looking for them to drop, see if I can find any. I've been going up there for about 10 years, and I've never found any, and I don't know why. Maybe I just don't have the luck with that, but I'm going to try to spend a significant more time this year trying to find these antlers that these bulls are going to be shedding, because I do know they're in the area, and they should be shedding within a week or two, especially the larger ones. But younger bulls, I have seen them as late as April still have their antlers. I have read that bulls with a little less testosterone are not able to always shed their antlers, and they may be a bit deformed. Here we see a couple coyotes. You see single coyotes a lot, but occasionally 2, and then very occasionally you will see a group of 4 or 5, but generally you will only see 1 or 2. And coming up, we're going to see a gray fox hanging out at another water hole that still has water in it. It's in a wash. Something drew its attention. Just hopped right up on that big rock. I see this gray fox here quite a bit in this area here, so I'm assuming it has a den real close. So we are going to wrap up this video for today, March 11, 2018. Please subscribe and like, and thanks for watching. We'll just take another look back, and we will see you the next time.